So the question is, if you have a fund and you're doing investments across the board, could it be done differently if you're a family office? Are you personally raising capital for an investment fund, or is it you yourself as a private investor are just taking your own money and putting it passively into other people's deals? So if you're raising money from other people for your own fund, then it'd be different from a family office. You might raise capital from people who have family offices. And if you do, and you may already be high enough net worth that you want to have a family office separately from that. But a fund would be different because the fund would be typically focused on one strategy or a couple strategies, and you'd be serving as part of the portfolio of other people's investment portfolios, versus a family office is really to manage your own money, unless you're going to be a multifamily office, which suggests that you're going to help them with wealth management holistically and help them with stocks and bonds and equities and planning and multi-generational and all that stuff. That's a really good question because the term is often confused. Like even going home for Christmas, I think half of my family still thinks I help people set up, offices in their basements when I say it's family office stuff, and I've stopped trying to explain it to people at some point. So I wish it was called something else. Emulating your peers is another thing that a lot of family offices want to do. That's why they come to our events, is to learn from each other, figure out what others are doing that's highly effective, what not to do. It's part of what we try to provide via the workshops here as well. So one thing to know, if you're here as an investor and you're already worth 10 or 20 million or more, 99.99% of everything you read, all the advice you get is completely worthless for who you are and where you are. They don't know you. They don't know your business. You don't know your skill set. They don't know what you've gotten done. And most people are not worth 10 or 20 or $30 million. Their advice is not crafted for most people. You really need to seek out voices that are very specific for who you are. And that could mean getting advice from other family offices who have been there before. It could mean getting coaching advice from someone who only coaches business owners in your industry. If you are a law firm partner and that's how you created your wealth, then maybe it means joining a $30,000 or $50,000 per year law firm partner association group that meets quarterly, and you're getting to bounce ideas off of peers and people that only work with other law firm partners on how they manage their wealth or invest their wealth. That's the level of information you need to get, and that's the type of information we try to provide in our books for family offices, like super niche, narrowed down. And most people in the world are not talking for you. They're just putting stuff out to the masses, right? So you have to be careful with that. Emulate platforms and niche monopoly strategies, adopt structuring, debt use and negotiation strategies. We talked about co-investing with peers, leveraging networks, positioning your family office for certain deliverables, meaning if you see family offices out there that you think are really unique, but in a way that looks highly effective, then take the extra time to meet with them at our events or have a phone call or breakfast with them the next day, et cetera, because it's the unique ideas that are highly effective that all of us are really looking for, not the average idea or what might be called like a best practice, but it's just what the average investor is doing. And we try to have some of those featured on stage at our investor summits, but some you'll just meet within our community kind of by chance. No matter what niche or industry you're in, whether it's family offices or if you're investing in senior care facilities, et cetera, the industry is getting more competitive. Back in the 1930s, it was grits, and then the Kellogg brothers were competing against scrambled eggs and grits, and there was no cereal aisle. And even today, if you go to Brazil or Russia or China, there are 6 types of cereal, and most cereal aisles. But here in the United States, we've got a whole aisle and you have 200 different choices, and it's so competitive that if you don't have a locally sourced, gluten-free, no one was hurt during the process, culturally appropriate thing, then like people won't buy it because it's not dialed into who they are, right? They want the thing that's really dialed into what they're looking for because it's so competitive. So the same goes with when you're trying to get a deal done. A good deal has many people they could get capital from. So if you're an investor, you need to specialize yourself as an investor to be the investor that they want to do business with and get that deal done with. And that's really critical. If you are a fund manager or someone syndicating deals, you still have to get access to the best of the best deals. And a big mistake I see people make is they come to me and say, oh man, if I had more capital, I could do $10 billion worth of deals. I have all these deals and not enough capital. It's like, well, that's true with anyone who can go to loopnet.com. You have more access to deals than you do money, right? That doesn't really mean anything. Everybody has more access to deals than money. The real point is that if your deal was so excellent, as soon as you told one person, they tell 4 others and the deal gets closed, that's what you want to have happen. It's hard to find a deal that's that compelling But if you find a deal that's that excellent and you tell two people and they both say, yeah, we're in, and the whole deal fills up, that's what you want to have happen. If you're on the capital raising side and people undervalue that, they say, oh no, I've got lots of deals, I don't need to worry about that, I need more investors. But maybe the investors you're going to aren't responding because your deal is not communicated clearly, it looks like everybody else's, or it's not 3 standard deviations away from what everyone else is pitching them in their inbox. That might be the harsh truth, or it might be something else that's messing up the process. But on the family office side, I think it's easy to forget that not everyone is going to first know that you exist as an investor. So you're not going to see all the deals out there. And which deals do you want to be shown first? And what do you want to see the most often? Where could you add the most value? Where could you use your favorite structure and it works really well in your industry or your area? So as more family offices get created, you need to be more and more specialized as a private investor or as a family office. And as there's more competition in whatever niche you're in and raising capital, or just in general, there's more people raising capital every day than the day before, then you need to be more specialized in who you're going after, why you're working with them, et cetera. You know, if you're raising capital for dental clinics, and go after dentists who have sold their dental clinics. If you're going into high-tech companies, then going to people that made their money in high-tech first, if you can, would be one area to consider, for example. So that message should be applicable for everyone here in the room. And you need to really say, here's the unique thing that comes with my capital. If they can raise capital from anywhere, then why should they take capital? Oh, because by investing with me, you're going to get this insight and this expertise. And when you exit, I know a few people that might want to buy this asset. Or because I only invest in this area, so I can always answer fast, always come to me first, and we might be able to fill up your whole deal. There could be many different answers to this question. And almost no family offices have this their first couple of years of becoming liquid and creating their family office. But the faster you get that, the more effective that you'll be.